Hello everybody, this is Eddie Speed, founder of Note School. You know, I've done hundreds of presentations, maybe thousands, talking about all aspects of notes. Buying a note, selling a note, buying a loan that is paying, buying a loan that isn't paying, creating our own seller financing, creating seller financing when we sell a property, getting the seller to seller finance us under really soft terms when we buy a property. All of these mechanics, right? I've done so many presentations and we've tore into the math and we've tore into the structure and we've tore into a list of documents you need and when am I safe to buy a deal and what does due diligence look like? You know what I've learned? That is a portion of our business. Is it an important portion? It's a really important portion because the truth of the matter is, without that information, we can't discern what is a good investment or a bad investment. We can't discern what a good note is or a bad note. Which one do we buy and which one do we pass on? But the truth of the matter is, now after almost 40 years of doing this, and dealing around a lot of other real successful note people, real successful real estate investors, and real successful business people in general, I've learned it's also a head game. It's also what we convince ourselves it is. You know, the coach walks into the locker room and he tells the team right before they go out to the state championship game, he says, this game is won or lost right now, before you ever go on the field. In other words, what he's saying is it's a mindset. You're either going to convince yourself that you're undefeatable and that you're going to win, or you can convince yourself you're defeatable and you're not going to win. In the note business, details and facts and information, in other words, education, it's really critical to success. You really can't do this well unless you have a solid base of knowledge of how it works. Being determined and wandering off in a bad direction is not a smart thing to do. So being determined and going in a smart direction, a specific direction where you know where you're going is good. But having the motivation to take the direction and take hold and take ownership of your business, those are sometimes a mindset. And you know, we have to wake up every day and practice and be focused on the fact that we're not going to be determined to fail, but rather we're always going to be determined to win. I recently heard a friend of mine that used a great analogy, and it was about a child riding a bicycle. You know, you don't hear about a lot of children that were unsuccessful learning to ride a bike. In fact, the stories you always hear is that a child started out, had failure, was determined not to give up, and learned to ride the bike. Now, it is helpful that the child had somebody helping them learn to ride a bike that knew how, and they could show them certain balance techniques and how to position themselves. So the fact that they had some good coaching was important, but the truth of the matter is the kid just was not going to fail at learning how to ride the bike. They were determined to ride the bike. As you progress into your note business, I want you to do something. I want you to put reminders in certain places, whether it's in your car or it's on your mirror that you see every morning, or whether it's something you open up in a book that you frequently open. And I want it to say to you the messaging that says somewhat like this: I am determined to pursue my dreams. I am determined to go develop this big opportunity in the business. And that mindset will help get you down the road when you're in a rut to go lift you up and progress in the business. Almost 40 years later, trust me, I still do the same thing. It works. It works for the people I know that win, and it'll work for you. I'm Eddie Speed. Keep the mind right.